And now Haney's got that fire in his eyes. A one-hitter quitter. Devin Haney, a walk-off home run. The dream continues for the 20-year-old sensation.
And it was a body shot that did it.
A story has a duality. There's two sides to every story. What brings to mind the phrase, necessary evil? Now, I know many of you may hear the phrase necessary evil and you say to yourself, that don't even make no sense to me. Can't be no such thing as necessary. How's evil necessary? That don't match. That's plaids and stripes, evil and necessary. You see, because without bad, there is no good. Without light, there is no dark. You need both these things. You hear what I'm saying? If every day is a sunny day, well, then what's a sunny day? Well, the bottom line, brothers and sisters, what I'm trying to tell you tonight is that evil is necessary. Evil is necessary. Thereby, if it's necessary, evil must be good. Evil is...
Peace to the family. Peace to my comrades. And it's always smoke to the enemies. I know I've been going for a while, but today it's time to cook. The video you just watched is from a movie called Vampire in Brooklyn. And in that scene, Eddie Murphy, who plays the vampire, he disguises himself as the pastor of a church. And he convinces his congregation that evil is good. He is a double-minded, double-tongued leader. A double-minded, double-tongued Negro amongst his own people. Coach, how does this relate to the sport of boxing? Right now in the sport, we have a lot of double-minded, double-tongued fans, promoters, fighters. They say one thing and they mean another. They do things in the light, but do something completely different when behind closed doors or when they think no one is looking. These past few weeks, I have become almost discouraged and disappointed in some of the excuses that our own men in the American black boxing community have made for our brothers. So far, where I believe that our sisters need to really sit down and talk to men, see where their mind is, because we cannot keep the procreation of the Sambo mindset to keep going. We are fighting the very principalities of darkness and spiritual wickedness that our ancestors had to fight against their own. Anytime they wanted to escape a plantation, you had Negroes, so-called Negroes, sick in the mind that didn't want to leave. Not only did they not want to leave, they didn't want you to get free. They did not want you to escape. So they would tell the master on you. They would tell the slave driver on you so that your plan would not work. What is it about these fathers in boxing? Well, first I want to address the excuses that I hear on a daily basis from men in our own community. Because as you know, me being a militant-minded individual, I do not go back and forth with my enemy. But to my brothers who are sick in the mind and confused, you say that Bill Haney's too loud. Bill Haney needs to take a seat to the back. You say that these fathers, the fighters of these fathers, get this hate because their fathers are too loud. Their fathers are there. But where were you brothers when Tyson Fury's father headbutted a teenager? Where were you brothers years ago when Danny Garcia's father called Zab Judah a nigger, called his family niggas? You all charged that to the game. You brothers said, well, you know, he's from Philly, he's from the street. Okay. When Ryan Garcia said he wanted to dig George Floyd's body up and unalive him again, you all gave him a pass as well. So what is it about these men where they don't get a pass? Not only that, what has Bill Haney done that is so bad for Devin Haney to get the kind of critique that he's getting? I asked a brother today who said, well, I didn't like Devin until the Ryan Garcia situation. And I asked, well, what is it that you don't like about Devin? He said he just likes the Mexican style, the come forward Mexican style. That is his post, and that's the post he's going to stand on. He likes brawling. He doesn't like a pugilist. And even though we could have stayed on that topic for a minute and I could have pointed out the hypocrisy in that, I'm not in the business of belittling my brother. There was a topic that was a little bit more important to address, which is this. It has nothing to do with boxing. And a lot of you brothers are too confused, too worried about idolizing whatever your favorite fighter or the self-hate in you, whatever it is. These fathers are hated the same way Deion Sanders is hated. These men are hated the same way LeVar Ball was hated. You all try to bring up Kenny Porter and say you like Kenny Porter. Lies. You lie. Because when Kenny Porter was training Sean for Errol Spence, I remember you. I have a great memory. I remember you saying, Kenny need to move out the way. Man, Kenny this, Kenny that. When you all wanted Sean to beat Bud, I remember you Negroes. You said, see, it's Kenny. So miss me with the excuses. Stop trying to be on the right side of history. You double-minded, double-tongued individuals. You all are the same evil is good type of Negroes amongst us. And we have to stand on our post of truth and speak against it. We were talking about the great fighter, Abdullah Mason, 19 years old, stopping people in the ring. And I thought we were having an honest conversation, and then I see brothers fighting in the chat about, well, Devin Haney, is almost 30, and, he's not stopping people anymore, and this, that, and the third. You all are hypocrites. When Devin Haney, who does have 15 knockouts, was a prospect, you still hated him. And you blamed it on Bill. Double-minded, double-tongued, evil is good Negroes. Let's move on. So when a fighter moves up in competition, it is normal for them to not get knockouts like they did in the early part of their professional career. Is that right? Look at Sugar Ray Leonard, Pernell Whitaker, Floyd Mayweather. A lot of their knockouts were in the beginning. And then when you try to give Bill props about how he's handling the situation, how he didn't crash out like a lot of us fathers would have crashed out if our son was done like that. And let me speak to that. We have to realize that there are some people that will fight and won't fight. There are some of you that would leave the door unlocked if you could, so your enemy could come in and ravish your wife, take your children. You wouldn't fight back. As long as you could assimilate to society, have a seat at their table, you would let all that go down. And there are some of us that would fight and give our lives for the freedom and protection of our people. And we have to be able to deal with that. When you hear Coach Hudson speak, I'm going to speak on what I believe, and I'm going to stand on that post. And as a military man, they tell us, do not leave your post until properly relieved. That is one of our general orders. Do you think that I have more loyalty to someone who I know does not mean me any good over my own people? Never. But we have those kind of brothers around us. How dare you, brothers, disrespect our own people who are in the sport, who help your views grow, who come onto your channels when nobody else will. I don't see a bunch of coaches and trainers and people with the Olympic Committee, people on these commissions, rushing to your channels to support you. But you all will have people like Bill Haney and Brian Norman Sr. on your channels and disrespect them. But you know better. You know that you better not try that with another tribe. You know better. Go ask Sergio Mora what they said to him after the Boots Ennis fight. Go look at the interview after the fight with him and see what they said to him because of his narration of Boots Ennis looking like the Matrix in the ring. At that very moment, he had a love for the sport and what his eyes was seeing because he is a former fighter himself. What's really in his heart came out right then. And I have called him out before for his bias, but in that moment, the warrior in him said, "This is amazing." And then there was awkward silence. What's that about? What are you all going to blame that on? This isn't about playing victim. This is about calling it what it is. This is not about opinion. What is the fact? The fact is that this sport was built on race and tribalism. The fact is that the hypocrisies that happened yesterday are happening today. It is a fact that that mindset that said that after Jack Johnson, we cannot have this again for another 22 years. That same mindset exists today in the sport of boxing. We suffer from not just racism in boxing, but supreme capitalism. If it was about the love of the sport, why did it take Turkey Al Sheikh to come in? For two of the biggest promotion companies to now work together. They don't give a damn about the sport or the fighters. But I heard something on Queen Shawa's channel. Go check her out. She was interviewing Brian Norman Sr., and he said, we have to realize that there are fans who live vicariously through the fighters and through the promoters. And anytime they feel their fighter is attacked, they feel attacked personally. If you call yourself a man or a true boxing fan, and you are following a fighter like that, brothers and sisters, you need to do some self-reflection. I had a brother say to me that, hey man, we just have to respect ourselves more, and this is why other people, they don't respect us because we don't respect each other. That is called respectable politics or something like that, right? If we act a certain way, maybe they'll treat us better. How were the black people acting on Black Wall Street, a self-sufficient town that was burned and leveled by racists? And some are going to say, well, that's one situation, like a devil, like a double-tongued, double-minded individual. That's what they'll say. That's one. Go do the history. We had little towns all over. And until the Great Compromise and the federal troops were pulled out of the South, they were down here as well, built up during Reconstruction. But they'll tell Coach Hudson that, hey, this ain't about race. Right? This isn't about being respectful. If you all just act like this, you all will be treated better. But we have clean-cut brothers in the sport. Don't drink. Don't smoke. Don't act a fool. And they still get hate. And then you hypocrites will say, well, I don't really like Dev because, he don't knock stuff out anymore. That's what I like. That's what I like. That's what it's about. It ain't about race. It ain't about hate. Liars. We had that. We had a champion. We had a heavyweight champion that was knocking everything out. And what were you saying? All he has is a right hand. Do you not remember? Do you hypocrites, you double-minded, double-tongued individuals, not remember that? I remember for the first time me seeing so many brothers rejoicing to see their own brother beaten, knocked down. And then on top of that, when it looked like that there was a glove gate, when it looked like there was foul play, cheating, you brothers were on the first line of defense to defend not even your countrymen, not even someone from your community, but someone you don't even really follow. Look at the hypocrisy. After it seemed that Wilder was no longer a threat, you brothers wasn't repping Tyson Fury. You brothers wasn't following his career. So what does that say about you as a man? We have to realize that there are brothers who want to assimilate to this society so bad that the very art of life that is imitated in the politics and the fighting of the sport of boxing, their cowardice seeps to the top every time. oil and water don't mix. And that is the oil of their spirit. That is the oil of their mindset. Muddying up the waters. You can't even have an honest conversation with them. Cognitive dissonance is their weapon. Or insults is their weapon. As soon as you start pointing out the hypocrisy in what they are saying, now they got to get off the call. Or now they start cursing you out. None of that is going to work on me. Because it ain't even nothing to argue about or debate about with your brother. Because what that man is showing you is in certain situations, they would turn on you. In certain situations, they would give up their family to assimilate. And they are among us. And we have to know how to handle those type of boxing fans. It's Devin Haney today. Before Devin, it was Wilder. Before Wilder, it was Floyd. Andre. Ward. Roy Jones. They hated on all of them. And we used to be on a unified front. But now we're not. Our queen, Clarissa Shields, the GWOAT, coming forward, speaking up for you brothers. Not one of you. I haven't heard no fan talking to the brothers have spoken up to defend the disrespect that y'all let a Jake Paul talk to the GWOAT the way he was talking to her. Nobody. So don't get gangster with us. Don't get tough with us. Get tough with the person that really got smoke for you. Your enemy. Get tough with that boy that's on the job disrespecting you. And because you can't talk to him how you want to come hate on your brother. Yeah, I know the psychology of you Negroes. Sick-minded, double-tongued, double-minded brothers. So what's the conclusion? Because I've said what I needed to. This is the conclusion. It don't matter how well you behave. It's always going to be, well, he should have did this. Watch. If Devin Haney beats Ramirez, they're going to blame it on the weight. They're going to blame it on something. If he beats Ryan, they're going to blame it on something. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. I'm standing with our fighters. I'm standing for American boxing. I'm standing for the lineage of American boxers, shoulders that we stand on, who have sacrificed their very lives for our fighters today to be where they are at. And if you can't respect that, I can't be cool with you, because you as a man, especially a black man, are a sad excuse of an individual. I leave you all in peace. Stay alert, stay alive. Stay healthy. Keep your mind clear. And if you are a true fan of the sport, support our fighters and support these small channels who are trying to give you the truth without bias, who are trying to lift up American boxing and our fighters. Support these people, these brothers and these sisters. God bless you all. Peace.